Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to look at the 2 to 4, or actually 1 to 4 player game, That's Pretty Clever, or Ganz Schön Clever, by Stronghold Games. So let's go ahead down the table. I'll give you a general overview of the game, and then we'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so this is going to be Ganz Schön Clever, or That's Pretty Clever. So in the game of Ganz Schön Clever, what you're going to do is you're going to try to score on this sheet of paper. And you're going to notice in the game that there's going to be these different colored dice. You're going to roll the dice, and you're going to pick one of them. And whatever one you pick, so let's actually say I picked this one 3. So any number that is lower than this after I pick this gets put on this dish. And I'll explain what that is in a second. But after I pick a number, I'm going to put it on the corresponding sections. Now, there's going to be 5 different sections in here, and each of them have a slightly different rules for them and scoring. So up in the yellow section, I'm going to take that number and I'm going to cross off in here. If I finish a row in this one, I'm going to get the bonus on the right, and in this case, I can just X off any of the blue I want. Any one of the blue, I can put a 4 on the orange, which I'll explain in a second, and an X on the green. If I complete any of the columns at the end of the game, I'll get those bonuses. If I complete this row here with a fox, what the foxes do is I take the number of foxes I have, and I take the lowest scoring section and I multiply them, and that's my score. Now in the blue sections here, the blue is pretty unique because with a blue, when you take a blue die, you're going to add the value of the blue die plus the white die. So let's say I have a 3 and a 1. So I'm going to take the blue die and I'm going to, I didn't mention this, when you pick a die, you're going to dock it on here. And you can take up to 3 dice on a turn. But it can be less depending on what you did, because like I said, everything that's lower goes on that tray. So if it was a 3 and a 1, so this was at a 1, then on this sheet I can cross off the 4. Now the way this one, the blue scores, is the more that I have, get more points. So also I will get bonuses if I complete a row. Here I'll get a 5 on orange. I get to cross off any yellow. I get a fox. These symbols down here, there's 2 different bonus symbols, and I'll circle this. So what this means is I can re-roll. So I can circle this to show that I have it available, and when I use it, I X it off. The +1s, I can circle those, and when I use them, I X them off, and I can just add 1 to the number that I rolled. Now, again, the blue, the special one, you have to use a blue die to do this, and you have to add the power of the white. The white die itself, which is good to mention, is wild. So if I use the white by itself, you can put it anywhere except for in the blue area. Now the green area is unique because the green area is going to score again for however many you cover, but you check these off left to right. So I have to start off with a number that is greater than or equal to 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then it resets back down. And you can get bonuses depending on how far along you get. The orange one, you just simply put whatever you have. And this one scores whatever the total value of all of the numbers written on here. And there's some neat areas, like this is your ×2 for that number. And you can see there's a ×3 at the end if you make it all the way there. And then you got some bonuses on here like all the other ones. The purple is similar except for that this number, to put the next number on the right, it has to be higher than the one on the left. Now, if you put a 6 on here, it resets, so you can put any number you want beside it, but then again, it has to be greater than. Continuing on, and then you also get the same sort of neat bonuses on the bottom. Now, the game will continue until you get to the last roll of your player count. So in a 3-player game, it'll be here, 4-player game here, and a 2 and 1 player, everyone gets 6 rolls. Now, the one thing that is really cool about this game is that while you're rolling, you're going to put dice on this tray. And what's going to end up happening with this tray is when you're done, all other players will be able to pick one of these dice and cross off the appropriate section on their sheet. So there is a little bit of investment on how the other player is picking their dice and docking them in these 3 available slots by what was remainder for you. So you can take into account some stuff like if someone puts up a green and you don't have much in here, you can do it. So you can take into account some strategy in what might be available to do different things. So in a nutshell, that is going to be Ganz schön clever, or That's Pretty Clever. Let's go ahead back up to the table here and I'll give you my final thoughts on the game. That's Pretty Clever, or Ganz schön Clever, is my favorite roll and write game, hands down. All the other roll and write games that I've played, and eventually at a certain point you feel that, or at least I feel that I've solved it. So then it just becomes luck of the dice, but you know how to get the maximum number of points out of the game. Ganz schön Clever has a lot going for it. There's 5 different scoring tracks. There is the tray of dice at the end of everybody's turn that you get to use. There's the bonus things on the top. There's a lot of stuff in this game. I don't think that I'm even close to solving this, if it is solvable. In fact, I am really bad at it. I only get like 1 star in the game. So there's a lot of room for improvement, a lot of replayability in this game. It is just amazing. I just like the fact that each of the sections, you have to think about them differently. They all have their different bonuses on there. I have no idea what the best strategy of this game is. But I still feel that when I play it, I get a large amount of satisfaction on completing sections, or getting the different bonuses and doing sort of little chain reactions through the game. So this game is amazingly enjoyable for me. If you're looking for a roll and write, this is the one that I recommend the most. That's Pretty Clever is just amazing. And again, if you're looking for a roll and write, this is the one I suggest that you get. And that is my opinion on That's Pretty Clever. Thank you for watching.